What's up, everyone? Welcome. Thank you for the congratulations. Pretty crazy today. Happy snow day. That's right. Just found out it's a snow day for the kids tomorrow, so no getting up early, which is killer. Marcus, you knew that, right? One day I'm going to take a day off here, but if we keep having these crappy weather events like this, makes it more fun to come on at night. Marcus, you're in Fayetteville. That'll are you guys getting hit yet? Anything? So the 200,000. It's interesting because I thought it happened at 4 o'clock this afternoon, but I had 400 subscribers this morning, and I was like, man, I got to go on at noon. What's going to happen now? So I've had about 800 subscribers today, something like that, close to 800 so far, and still got another hour. I'd probably get to 1,000 subscribers today, which is really insane. Very big day. I don't know if YouTube, when you hit these areas that you're getting near these milestones, I don't know if they just boost your channel or what they do, but it's pretty amazing. So I got here. It projected a few weeks ago. It projected that I would get to 200,000 on the 19th, and I got on the 16th. So Marcus, you have a dusting and it hasn't stopped. Okay, yeah, we haven't gotten anything yet, but it's coming here. Snow day in Oxford, Alan. Well, that's it. I guess it was really way west of here, so it's coming this way. So the conference call. Oh yeah, last night. Yeah. So we're getting the Beato books, the digital version. I mean, it still has a ways to go. So, but it's but we're getting there on it. Maurizio, what's up? I know, I can't believe. Do I have have a graph of my sub count through time? Well, I have this, and this is what I was reading off of today. This is a thing that I made up, or that I looked up to see the time. It's actually easier when you actually just look at it like this. I'll move back just a little bit. So the over here, this right here, it's hard to point at it, but 326. So the first 1,000 subscribers were basically because of were from this one video that I did with Dylan that is called the Excavator Song, and that video has 130,000 views, something like that, 129,000 views, and that got my channel. That, and then Dylan's first video, the first viral video. Let me see. I want to look it up and see if it hit 800,000 today, because it was very close. It should have hit that today. This would be another milestone. Yes. Okay, it's another big milestone. Dylan's first video, where he's wearing his orange shirt, hit 800,000 views in the last 30 minutes. That's amazing. So I have two videos that have over 800,000 views. And then the darkest scale ever is almost at 390,000. So that will hit 400,000 in a couple, probably in the next week or so. So, when I started my channel, I used to get really, I've talked about this the other night. When people say, wow, this is really great. I can't believe you have so few subscribers and so many, and darkest shirt ever. So many. I can't believe you have so few subscribers and so few views. I literally put out, honestly, probably, I had 20 videos out and none of them had 1,000 views. And I was just thinking, man, how am I ever gonna, how do people get these videos with thousands of views? And this is after the Dylan video. I mean, in 3 days it got 500,000 on his, long before my channel started. So I have the most loyal subscribers, Nick just said. That is very true. I mean, that's really the most popular on this channel. The most popular video is an Iden improv. That's funny. Not surprised. Double X says, "You're surprised there's such a big audience for what I do." Well, we're both surprised about that. You know, you left Warren to come here, Scooby-Doo. Awesome. Oh, there's my brother. What'd you miss so far? Nothing. So I've been working. I practiced tonight for about an hour and a half using my new, oh, here's Aaron right here. Hold on. I'm going to talk to Aaron. Yo, I'm on my live stream right now, but I thought I'd answer because we still don't have a forum. So, yeah. Whenever you can. Aaron says tomorrow night we'll have it set up. Perfect. It's a snow day tomorrow, so I'm not going anywhere. So I'll call you. I'll call you tomorrow in the morning or whatever. We'll get it rolling. All right. All right. Thanks, man. Bye. You like how I take phone calls during my live stream? So Aaron said tomorrow night you'll be able to use the forum when we come on. So there you go. Okay, so the forum is a forum. It's going to be, like what is an example of a forum that people go to? Give me an example of a forum. Don Beato. I like that. A forum, a place where people can post things. For example, hey Rick, I'd like to see you do a video like this. I'm gonna make Aaron an offer he can't refuse. Talkbase.com. Okay, Joe just said, yeah, or Reddit. Like Reddit is a forum. Yeah, Reddit's definitely a forum. Gear Sluts is a forum. That's a good one about pro audio gear. There are a bunch of guitar forums out there. But this will be a place where we can I'll probably have it divided into different sections. Jazz. We'll have a jazz section, a classical section, a We Hate UMG forum. We'll have a piano forum. We'll have a thing where we talk about gear. My brother just said. We'll have a music production forum, and So speaking of that, I've been practicing a lot on my guitar using my new Axe effects, which my very good friend Daryl Gable has helped me. He sat with me last night before the live stream and helped me work on learning how to set it up. And I've been going through and making some presets. If you don't have the computer hooked up to it, it's really difficult. It's almost impossible to use. Anyway, I like Beato Nation. That's good. how's my hand feeling? No problem. No problem. Feels good. Feels good. I was practicing really hard octave displacement stuff today. Things that I haven't practiced in 30 years. So I went through a bunch of my old cassette tapes and I listened to things that I practiced, no lie, back in the 80s, in the early 80s. You know how I say that everybody should have their I mean, people do it now, but they use Instagram, things like that, or use videos to capture things that you practice. But I keep a notebook of things to practice. You know, I've got, things like this in my notebook, right? Or, whatever. Things with scales, things with, a lot. I mean, most of them I have in notation. I have like a notation book like this, for example, right? And I keep track of things that I want to, that I'm working on. But it's, for example, this is the list of people that everybody wants on. This is one list of people that they want to see on Sounding Off. So, but this thing that I was practicing today is things that I haven't thought about in 30 years, and stuff that's actually not in my book. And question here is, have I ever had to stop playing due to a serious injury? No. No, it's remarkable. Well, that's not true. I hurt my thumbs, with this thing, de Quervain syndrome, a few years ago. And for 3 years, it was incredibly difficult to play because I had a lot of pain right here. Jack Waltz's horse. Let's see here. What is his horse? They used a real horse's head, actually. That was actually from a slaughterhouse. In that. Do I set personal deadlines for my to-do lists? Well, what I'm trying to do is to really kind of refresh things that I had practiced. I'll show you here what I was practicing. I'm going to do a video on it. But if you, let's see here. Hold on. I will get a jazz guitar one of these days. Whoops, I guess I'm picking the strings. So I was practicing. I should buy my book for good practice. So I'm practicing octave displacement. Octave displacement, basically, I was using a chromatic scale. You can do octave displacement. I did a video on it, but I was practicing a chromatic scale with octave displacement, which would be something like this. Okay, if you think of right? Or very hard to play. And then you can practice, I'll pick every note. right? So that would be octave displacement, like that. Octave dispersion, people call it, but that's a chromatic scale. Da 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 da, right? So it's like you got all these flat 9 intervals. And knowing where they are. That's hard to do. So these are things that I was practicing for as a warm up, that I used to do as a warm up exercise. So I do a chromatic scale. Hard to do on this guitar because and then I did and then do intervals, you know, do your scales and intervals like diminished scales. But hybrid picking is actually better for this stuff. So if you do like a you have to switch fingerings on this. You got to go to your second finger there, though. So that would be a diminished scale in major sevenths. Then you practice it with alternate picking. It's harder. Go up one, down the next, and then up one, like that, or then hard to do. And then hybrid pick. Easier to hybrid pick. I've already practiced for a couple hours today, so my hand's killing me now. That's better. But alternate, I'm using, I'm trying to get rid of the bars there. And then do it with bars. And then do things with do the intervals. What was I doing? It's hard to do it in the to do it with all bars. That would be F major, for example. And then you do. right? Then fifths. Those are hard. Then you try and hybrid pick it, which is easier, but do six. Six are easier in these things. Anytime you're doing six, then so am I hybrid picking? Some of them I'm hybrid picking, some of them I'm not. It really depends. So I go, if I take B flat major. So I'm alternate picking there. Let's see. Then I can hybrid. That's all right. So anyways, so that's hybrid picking. I haven't practiced hybrid picking in years. But hybrid picking is really good to practice. You can hybrid pick with multiple fingers, obviously, right? Or you do. It's hard to. I like alternate. That's hard to play. Man, easier on electric guitar, obviously, right? Then I was also practicing my what else was I practicing tonight? I forget. Is the action high? It is. On the low strings it is. All my guitars are really badly set up right now. I was practicing that. That's like Carlos Rio slick. Woo! The thing that goes is this hand. Do I practice slow? Yes, I practice slow. Okay, now I'm starting to get... That's hard. I'll be warmed up in a few minutes probably. Woo, okay, slow. First hour, 50% speed, yes. How much should I experiment with now do it lefty? What else would That's the other thing I was practicing. I was practicing my... Alternate picking these are hard. That's tiring. Way easier on electric. About a week or so, and then I'll get in shape. It takes me a couple weeks. hertz. This stuff is way easier on electric. When the strings are closer together, there's a very wide fingerboard on this guitar, so it's really hard. If you tune in fourths, that would be way easier. Then you'd have piano fingerings. That's what's great. Fourths make everything easier. Then it's like piano. I love that sound. The on a dominant sus4, playing Phrygian. Okay, I'm getting it together now. Anyways. So, Hard Day's Night chord. But if I practice every day for a week for a couple hours, I can ice my hand. Yeah, I know. Oh. But it takes me about probably a week to 2 weeks of practicing every day, at least an hour, and I can I'll start to get my chops back playing on my electric and stuff. It's hard to play on acoustic guitars. That's not really where that's tough. That guitar's hard. Both those guitars are hard. Do I practice in 30-minute chunks? I practiced I practice until my hand hurts, honestly. On both, but I try not to practice, like, I won't practice the bass and the guitar in the same day. I won't practice the piano and the guitar on the same day, because it really, as I've gotten older, I think it's really, my thumbs really hurt, and they use very different muscles. The piano and the I do use my electric. Question was, why don't I use my electric? I was actually practicing on my electric, which is way easier. So, but I don't. My electric's in the other room, and I didn't want to go get it. So, anyways, yeah, so I don't practice them in the same life, right? No, but I don't practice them at the same time. I can't, if I'm doing bass tracks, like if I'm doing sessions, when I was doing sessions, I would play, I try not to do guitar and bass back to back, obviously. Um, Alex Lysum just confirmed Rush is done. Man. Did I ever fall asleep while practicing? Of course, yes. What do I recommend for those of us with for those of you with carpal tunnel? See, I do a bunch of different stretching exercises like this one here, where I go like that, then I bring it back this way. Oh, really painful right there. Double harmonic major scale is different scale online. Well, you're looking in the wrong place. How's that? How's that, Scooby-Doo? What are you looking online for? Look it up on Wikipedia. It'll tell you what it is. You're looking at some guitar players' things or something. Yeah, don't overstretch. That's the thing. But this thing here, I really, I have to do this every day. I have to stretch those muscles out. This right here, this gets overused. If you use your cell phones a lot, it has a chromatic Scooby-Doo. Well, there is a chromatic. There are 3 chromatic notes in a row. The major 7th, the root, and the flat 2 are 3 chromatics in a row. So so there are 3 chromatics in it. But the it's flat 2. What is it? Flat 2, flat 6. That's it. The CC DeVille method. But I massage that muscle there. If using your thumb on a smartphone, people are this gets really overdeveloped here, and so you have to really massage these muscles here, and then stretch it. And then I do stuff with the rubber band that I had here, rubber band or rubber bands, where I practice opening my hands like that, because that helps that, and that's really helped me for piano playing. When I bring my thumb under. It used to hurt like crazy, and I could not play for a long time, for about 3 years. I really couldn't play guitar and piano at all for about 3 years. I had pain every single day, and it literally went away from watching a YouTube video. Am I left-hand or right-hand dominant on guitar? Which hand do I find more demanding physically? That's interesting, Joe. No, my right hand's always chasing my left. So that's which video for the thumb? I watched a video of this guy that's a sports physiologist or a chiropractor. He has a glove that he has that has rubber bands in it, and he was demonstrating. It's called because the syndrome's called de Quervain's syndrome, and it's a pain in this part of your thumb, and this is really common with people nowadays because of using smartphones, because of this motion when you're doing these things all the time with your thumb and typing with your thumb. So the closing of your hand, it's really bad. I was screwed. So this muscle becomes overdeveloped right here. So when you open your hand, this is where this pain comes in, right here in this joint. And people think they do surgery on it because it gets really inflamed. You don't want people doing surgery on your hand. That joint, the basal joint, becomes incredibly painful. It's de Quervain's with a Q. D-E and then Q-U, I don't know. Joe will figure it out. This guy solved my thing literally in one overnight. I had 3 years of pain, and it was and without taking anything, 3 years of pain. There it is. Thank you, Joe. And it went away in one day, literally, from with massage here, and then I use rubber bands to practice opening my hand. I forget where the rubber band is. I had it here yesterday. I think I was using it or something. I had it here when I was doing the video last night. But I usually keep 2 rubber bands here, and I put 2 rubber bands in my hand, and I practice opening my hand like that. And then that makes it go away. So, Um, anyways. Oh, man. Sore right now. But 3 years of pain. I actually went to see a surgeon about it. And what the guy said is, he said, well, let's do I mentioned this before. He said, let's do a cortisone shot first. So he did a cortisone shot right into the joint there, just on my right hand, even though my left hand hurt. And he says, so do you want some painkillers? I said, no, I'll be fine. I don't usually have pain from things like this. And at 1 a.m, I woke up. I was in the most pain I've ever been in. My hand was throbbing. I couldn't believe it. That's when it was really, really, really bad. Don't do those steroid shots. Terrible. Cortisone shots. That's bad. I'll never do that again. So look up these these things before you do that. I mean, this doctor friend told me, he goes, oh, you got de Quervain syndrome. He goes, I had surgery for that. A friend of mine that's a surgeon. And when I figured that out, I looked it up and I said, that's exactly what I had. And then I saw this guy on there and immediately fixed it in 1 day. 3 years of pain gone in 1 day. There you go. You'd be dead Maurizio, if it wasn't for those shots. Steroids will dry up your tendons. They say that you can't have them for more than twice a year or something like that. But this is one of the obviously for this. My brother had a shot for trigger finger and it worked. Stratcat, am I liking my Hackintosh? Yes, absolutely. My Hackintosh is working great. I had no problems. I installed what's it called? Creative Cloud on it today. So I've got InDesign, Illustrator, all of the Photoshop, all the stuff that Adobe comes with. I haven't installed it all yet, but I have Premiere also. I don't know if I'm going to install Premiere on here or not, because obviously I use Final Cut, but I have Rhett coming over tomorrow, and we're going to do a video on drum mixing. That we're going to do it in the control room, but we're gonna film it. I got some drums. Rhett has some drums that he got sent that we were talking about, and I said bring them over and I'll do a mix of them. And he said that's he said that it was not a great recording, and I said, well, bring it over and I'll do a video on how to fix drums that are badly recorded. Does my brother John wear a lot of black shirts? John's a lot thinner than me, so. But I've definitely fixed my share of bad drum sounds. But that being said, I've had some things that I haven't recorded that have been great. I've got a drive over here that has Josh Freese and what's his name? I was talking about him the other day. Other session drummer who's amazing, Kenny Aronoff, and it was recorded at Royal Tone, and it's and they're incredibly well recorded drums. So that was actually kind of nice. That was the best. His Kenny Aronoff's snare is one of the best I've ever heard on this recording. Somebody sent it to me as a thing I mixed. It was a song that I had written, 3 songs I had written that Josh Freese played on 1 or 2 of them, and then Kenny played. I think no, it's more than 3 songs I wrote. But oh, here's my brother. Let's see if you can see this. I just saw this. Hold on. See if you can see this. This is my brother with John Petrucci. Hold on. Can you see that? My brother John with John Petrucci. That's my brother John there, playing guitar. He's wearing a blue shirt. And I showed you this the other day. My brother John with Alex Lifeson. It's hard to see. So, but I got him into the John Petrucci show, into the Dream Theater show. He wrote to me, he says, I'm going to see Dream Theater. You can get me backstage? I said, I'm not going to call him. Write to John and get you backstage. And then I said, all right, I'll do it. And I wrote to John Petrucci, and John said, no problem. Get him tickets for backstage. So he's got pictures with him and with Jordan Rudess. I think, right, John? Jordan Rudess you took a picture of? He's a very nice guy. Really like Jordan, too. Both those guys are incredibly nice. A Beato live jam session. Now, John doesn't play rhythm. He only plays lead. If I ever had to work with anyone that has a huge ego in the studio, oh, yeah, of course. Actually, that's not true. Not in the studio. No, not really. Most people are most people are pretty cool in the studio. Adam Neely, no, Adam's. If you're talking about Adam Neely, Adam's the best guy in the world. Love Adam. Anyways, you saw Jordan practicing on a table once. You know, one of the things that Jordan plays, the keyboard that's I did a video on it, the one that can actually play quarter tones, that's got the rubber top on it and it has the raised keys. They had one at I forget the company that makes it. They had one at Guitar Center when I was there yesterday trying it out. And it's really cool. I forget what the name of it is. This was a short one. It wasn't even, yeah, the Seaboard. That's right. Thank you, Jerry. This one wasn't even a 42 key. It was shorter than that. I don't know what the next smallest one would be, but I thought about getting it, honestly, because it's so cool. I'm not sure what I would do with it. But anyways, can Joe play the oboe? John Petrucci will be in Denver. So who's on the G3 this time? Because I just saw a video that had Steve Vai, Guthrie, and Satriani. Is that not the... What's up, Nari? Yeah, so I saw Satch and Steve Vai and Guthrie playing. I guess that's not the tour. Maybe this was an older one. Petrucci and Satriani and Steve Vai, is that right? Oh, and Phil Collin. Okay, from Def Leppard. That's kind of an interesting. Robert, that might have been an old one with those three guys. Okay, so Phil Collin. This will be interesting. Phil Collin's a great player. I don't think he's a bad player, Scooby-Doo. My band toured with Def Leppard for about 10 days or so, and he was a great guy, and I thought he played really well. Anyways, so okay, so what else? So okay, so we hit 200,000 today. I'm already at 200 and almost 200,000 and 300 or 400 now. I've gone way past 200,000. It was funny because I don't know how many of you were on this afternoon when it went over, but there was a major glitch on the website that it's not through YouTube. It's a website, Social Blade, that you can look at up-to-date subscribers, up to the second subscribers. But it was definitely glitching because it went from 990 up to 200,000. Then it came down. Then it went up over again. It went to 2010, and then it went back down. It's crazy. So next thing we got to do is we got to get this channel to 6,000. We're at about 5,500 now. Who's a new person on this channel? I know my brother's new actually on here, but who's somebody that's is it Phil Collins or Phil Collins? Phil Collins actually. He's UMG hacked the counter. It's probably true. Who's new on here that's on right now? Announce yourself. Anybody that has not been on this channel before? Because it's actually started to pick up a bit. I've noticed that. You're new. You came from the other channel. Awesome. Not this guy, Miro. No. Subscribed in 2018. Okay, that's new. 2018. Subscribed the other day, Nicholas. Excellent. Kind of new, 2 months out the book. There you go. Mariano, yeah, okay. I know that. Maurizio, you've been watching my YouTube channel since 1998. The spammers have moved on. If I got my kids to subscribe, they've all got YouTube channels now too. Lennon, Layla, Dylan. Don't get my brother started talking about 80s metal. He knows too much about 80s metal guitar. Looking to more videos on film composers. So, been thinking about doing a Danny Elfman video, but all the Batman movies are on Warner Brothers. And I have a problem with Warner Brothers, it seems like, taking videos down. Now, one of the things about film scores is that sometimes they don't bother you with them. It really depends. I might need to upload some stuff. I mean, I don't have any problems with with Thomas Newman, I did John Williams, I did Hans Zimmer, James Newton Howard, Thomas Newman, Randy Newman, James Horner, Bernard Herrmann. I did a bunch of things with no problems. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what the deal is, but more Herman. I was actually looking at the Spitfire audio, the Spitfire audio Bernard Herrmann. What is it? Sound library that they're making. Morricone, yeah, yes, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of Ligeti. There are a bunch of composers that I want to film composers that I want to talk about. I did some other ones too. I'm trying to think of how many film composers. Maybe I'll do one. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. How's that? John Barry I've wanted to do. I just have to think of Jerry Goldsmith I've wanted to do too. Video game scores are pretty big too. So Alan Silvestri is great. Yeah. Howard Shore. Did I do a Howard Shore one? I thought I did a Howard Shore one. Maybe I don't know. Have I done a Howard Shore? Does anyone know? I don't even know. I can't even remember. I definitely done a John Williams. I've done a couple John Williams. I've definitely done a James Horner, for sure. So I'll do one tomorrow. How's that? I will do a film scoring video tomorrow. I haven't done one in a long time. What I'm trying to think of what's a good, the ones that I said part one on meant that I actually filmed a lot more stuff that I didn't put in because I thought that it was the video was just too long. So I need to go back to the Howard Shore because I think I did some Lord of the Rings, some more. I did some Lord of the Rings on there, and I did Thomas Newman. I think I did 2 videos on Thomas Newman. I had a lot of material on that, and absolutely no problems. You know, the thing with this, with the film scoring stuff, is a lot of the film scores are just not out there. They aren't. The Hans Zimmer ones are out there, and Thomas Newman has some, but you know, things like the Shawshank Redemption, go look on iTunes. It's not on there. I actually bought the CD, or my assistant Ken had the CD that he gave me, and I had it in iTunes, but it's not available on iTunes. So they don't seem to give you a problem with doing that. But I'll have to. I've got to look at the availability of some of the. I have to look at the value of some of these. One of the things that I really like, I like the James Newton Howard one. It wasn't the Sixth Sense, Stefan. It was the what's the one with the violin? What is it? Signs? Is that the one I'm thinking of? That movie that has a beautiful. It's got the beautiful violin. Solo violin and orchestra. What is it? I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. It's a really great. It's a really great film score, though. Signs. Yeah, was that the movie that I think that's James Newton Howard? I want to say it was Signs, or what was the other movie that same director? There were 2 movies, and I think James Newton Howard did both of them. I don't know if it was Signs though. Anybody? Joe? What? M. Night. What's his name? Wasn't Unbreakable. Was it Unbreakable? The Village, that's the one. The Village, that's the one. Shalaman, yeah, okay. The Village is the soundtrack that's really great that James Newton Howard did that has solo violin. I mean, it's really good. It's a really great soundtrack that has some really cool things to learn from. There's a lot of really nice intervals. Joe's not slipping, no way. Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack. Thomas Newton Howard. That's what our brother Ray calls them. James Newton Howard and Thomas Newman. Thomas Newton Howard. Our next older brother Ray is really big into soundtracks. He was into soundtracks 20 years ago, and he'd always play them. Always made videos for every family member. Would make a video when it was a big birthday. I didn't get one at my 40th birthday or 50th, but Nick, a video about Schillinger. I have the book that George McCourt, who's you'll see on here. I don't know if George is on tonight. I think George was on earlier, but I've got I've got two of Schillinger's books, and they're enormous that I'm going through to talk about, do a video on. But there's so much information. It's kind of like, people have asked me to do a video on the Slonimsky thesaurus, and there's really no there's no way to do a video on that book. It's got 1,200 exercises, so you really have to it's tough. You got to pick and choose this stuff. Let's see. Any other? Let's see. Am I going to play something? I haven't played anything. So the updated version of the Beato book that's going to be coming out is pretty different, actually. That'll be out in a few months. The one that's going to be, for those of you that have it, pay what you want. But all the etudes and everything I've changed. Not all of them, but a bunch of them I've changed. I've updated. It's cool. It's going electric, yes. It's going electric, and it'll be able to be translated into other languages, which is great. But we're still a few months away from that, probably. You'll know. Yeah, it's going to be... it's taken a year to get to, honestly, to get to this point. So Ramon said do short segments of music and it won't be taken down. That's the thing is when I've done this film scoring things, I do them in the other room, and I will play only a few seconds of music. What's up, Roberta? I'll play a few seconds of music and then demonstrate it. You don't need to rebuy the Beato book when the new version, digital version, comes up. Those of you that have it. What's up, Brett? It'll be a pay what you want. If you want to donate to the cause, that'd be great. But Michelle's been in every day. We're working on it worked on it for hours today. She was working on it when I was doing the live stream earlier. She had her headphones on. We're doing stuff, and she's incredibly fast at doing those. There's a lot of notation. It's way easier to write things in pencil, right? Where is it? It's way easier to write things in pencil than it is to actually input it into Finale or Sibelius, neither of which I know how to use. And the Finale is completely... No, Michelle's not leaving. Just Michelle can't work in the afternoons. So she works from 9 to 2. So she only works in the mornings, which is fine. But Finale is not intuitive at all. Anyways, this is great. All right, I think I'm good for tonight. I got stuff to do, actually, because I'm going to go pick out some music for my video tomorrow. The oboe mouthpiece problem, the oboe problem is not solved yet. Dylan has his first lesson on Saturday, and he's still got the oboe that's not working. I got to figure that out. HK, how do you recognize by ear alternate tunings You listen for open strings. That's the easiest thing to do. And there are certain types of tunings that, like Dad Gad, that are really easily recognizable. But a lot of Joni Mitchell tunings, you just have to really listen for open strings and chords. That's how you that's the only secret to it, HK. It's tough. It's tough. Joni Mitchell's hard. Most open tunings are if you listen to the Stones, open G. If you if you listen to anything metal over the last 20 years, drop D. Dadgad, same thing. Dadgad's incredibly common. A lot of the tunings that Chris Cornell used are really difficult. The tuning for Seasons, I taught the tune Seasons that he did on the soundtrack for Singles. And so dirty mop water. Can you tell me how to make your hair like mine? I don't know. You mean your hair like mine? I don't know. I don't do anything to it. It literally sticks up all the time. I don't have anything in it. It just sticks up like that, right? It's really weird. I do have a tuning though on one of our Billionaire songs, Drop C Sharp, that I know that I've never seen anyone do, because it's such a weird tuning. So Drop C Sharp. Anyways, all right, so I'm good. I'm gonna not say anything right now, and I'm gonna hit stop, but it still cuts me off for some reason because there's the delay in the video. So I'm gonna pause here. Then I'm going to go for tonight, and tomorrow we're going to have the forum, and we're going to adjourn to the forum after. We're going to figure that out. So I'm on with Aaron first thing in the morning with it. All right? You guys are awesome. Thank you. Have a great night.